The Whispering Shadows. In a small village nestled between the mountains and the sprawling savannah, whispers of the Tokoloshi haunted the nights. The villagers knew better than to let their guards down after dark, for the creature was said to manifest in the creaking of doors and the chilling rustle of leaves. Despite their stubbornness, some began to forget the old ways of protection, ceremonies and offerings their ancestors had once revered. One evening, a young boy named Sipho, emboldened by tales of bravery, dismissed the warnings of the village elders. "It's just a story to scare children," he sneered as he and his friends gathered around a flickering fire. But the delicious aroma of roasted meat could not mask the unease lingering in the air. As the night deepened, laughter turned into hushed conversations, and finally into uneasy silence. Sipho lay in bed that night, the shadows stretching monstrous fingers across his room. Curiosity gnawed at him, and he crept to the window, peering into the moonlit landscape. Suddenly, he felt a chilling presence. A low growl resonated from the darkness. Paralyzed with fear, he turned to run, only to find the creature standing before him. A grotesque figure with wild, matted hair, oversized teeth glistening in the moonlight, and eyes that reflected malevolence. "You dare to mock me?" it hissed, its voice like rustling leaves in a storm. "I will show you the darkness you laugh at." Sipho's heart pounded as he stumbled backward, colliding with the wall. The creature lunged, its sharp claws grazing his arm. Pain surged through him, not just from the superficial wound but from the overwhelming dread that consumed him. He could feel his mind fracturing. Whispers invaded his thoughts, sowing seeds of terror and hopelessness. As dawn broke, Sipho lay on the floor, trembling, his sanity fraying at the edges. The villagers had heard whispers of his tormented cries, but many had grown skeptical, dismissing them as trickery. After another restless night, Sipho attempted to gather evidence of the Tokoloshi, hoping to convince his friends and family of the horror stalking them. With shaky hands, he carved a wooden talisman, an ancient symbol of protection his grandmother had taught him. That evening, as darkness blanketed the village, Sipho pinned the talisman above his door, believing it could ward off the creature. He lay in bed once again, staring at the ceiling, willing himself to sleep. But the night was relentless. Shadows flickered in the corners of the room, and the whispers grew louder, a cacophony of threats and sadness. Suddenly, he felt his eyelids grow heavy, and a sense of dread knotted in his stomach. In the midst of a nightmarish slumber, the Tokoloshi returned, dragging Sipho into a world of torment. "You wanted to see me, little boy?" it laughed, and the sound echoed in the hollows of his mind. Images of his loved ones flashed before him. His parents, friends, and the vibrant village, cloaked in darkness, frozen in expressions of terror. Despair choked him as he was yanked back into consciousness, realizing the talisman had failed. He knew he had to act quickly. In the depths of night, he visited the village's spiritual healer, an elderly woman named Mama Lindaim, who had been a guardian against the Tokoloshi for decades. "It feeds on fear, my child," she told him, her face etched with lines of wisdom and worry. "You must confront it, not with terror but with light. Gather your courage. Do not let it claim you." Armed with newfound resolve, Sipho returned home, summoning every ounce of strength within him. "I am not afraid of you," he shouted into the suffocating darkness, recalling his grandmother's tales of bravery. The shadows coiled around him, whispering threats, but he stood firm. As the Tokoloshi materialized in front of him, the boy lifted his hands, chanting the ancient words remembered from his childhood. "Spirit of darkness, hear my defiance, I stand against you." A brilliant light emanated from him, illuminating the room like a beacon. The creature writhed, its form distorting as the light engulfed it. With a piercing shriek, it dissipated into wisps of shadow, leaving behind an eerie silence. The next morning, the village awoke to a renewed sense of safety. Though Sipho had confronted the darkness, he bore the scars of his encounter, both physical and psychological. The villagers soon learned the importance of vigilance and respect for the spiritual world, but Sipho was forever changed. The Tokoloshi's laughter echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of the night it almost claimed him. The darkness lurked still, waiting for another moment of weakness, bound to return when least expected, a malignant force echoing the fears of a boy who learned that some legends are not merely stories, they are warnings waiting to be acknowledged. If you have enjoyed this story, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.